between the number 6 seed, Eden Prairie Eagles, and the number 1 seed, Edina Hornets. Here are the starting lineups. Players, when you hear your name, take the field. First, for the Eden Prairie Eagles, number 1, a junior, Stephen Madison. Number 2, a freshman, Tamer Ibses. Number 6, a senior, Captain Carter Bell. Number 8, a junior, Kevin Rojas. Number 10, a junior captain, Jose Blanco. Number 13, a junior captain, Cole Nelson. Number 14, a junior, Danny Hernandez. Number 15, a senior, Luke Bartz. Number 16, a freshman, Ryan Donahue. Number 17, a sophomore, Alex Yu. And number 22, a junior captain, Henry Hoosman. Eden Prairie is coached by Rob St. Clair. And now the starting lineups for the Edina Hornets. Number 1, a senior captain, Hank Steckman. Number 3, a junior, Joe Manzer. Number 5, a freshman, Julian Banks. Number 8, a senior, Coy Wynn. Number 9, a senior, Lucas Wright. Number 10, a junior, Henry Denault. Number 12, a junior captain, Ryan Swanda. Number 14, a junior, Jackson Holly. Number 17, a junior, Sammy Prestis. Number 18, a senior captain, Henry Rhodes. And number 23, a senior captain, Matt Mason. Edina Hornets are coached by Dave Jensen and Bill Garner. Good luck, teams.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Braemar Dome here in Edina for tonight's Section 2 Class AA Boys Soccer Final between the Edina Hornets, who are the 1 seed in the section. They are taking on the Eden Prairie Eagles, the 6th seed in the section, who have made a run. They've beaten a couple of higher-seeded teams to get here. We'll have more on that throughout the night. So the Hornets come into this game. They are number 4 in the state, with a record of 11 wins and 2 defeats. Eden Prairie comes in with a record of 5 wins, 5 losses, and 3 draws. So the Hornets in all green, they will take the opening kick. They go right to left. And both teams take a knee for a few moments before we start this game. And Coy Wynn takes the opening touch in the Section 2 AA final. Again, Eden Prairie, the 6th seed in the section. They had to win a couple games on the road to get here. It started with a 2-1 win at Chaska last week. And then earlier this week, they defeated Shakopee 1-0. And an early foul to the Hornets. Eden Prairie with a free kick. These two teams have met twice already this season in the Lake Conference. Hornets won both matchups 3-1 and 2-1, the final scores in those games. However, the last time these two played was 1 month ago today, back on September 24th. So it's been a while since these two Lake Conference foes have faced one another. There's the keeper, Stephen Madison, a junior. For the Eagles, he sends it long. Here's Henry Rose. Strong touch there. He works to win it back. Rose scored the second goal here on Thursday afternoon as Edina defeated Minnetonka to get here. That was a 2-0 win. They beat Bloomington Jefferson 4-0 in the quarterfinal last week. So Hornets with a throw in here. It's Matt Mason into the area. Headed only as far as Coy Wynn. Puts his laces through it. Shot blocked. Jackson Hawley to Prestis. Prestis flicks it on. Rose couldn't quite get onto it. Here's Coy Wynn. He finds Matt Mason. Inside to Prestis. Here's Wynn. Mason's right-footed cross. Only as far as Wynn. Wynn gets out of his feet. That's toward Jackson Hawley. Swanda serves in toward the back post. Prestis up for the header. And Madison comes to claim. Hornets with the early possession. So in attack for the Eagles, look out for number 14, Danny Hernandez. He leads them with 6 goals scored this season. Also first-year Ryan Donahue, the 9th grader, number 16. He has 3 goals as well. A couple attackers to look for. Here's the Hornets with a chance in the area. Prestis goes down, but Madison's able to get on top of the ball. And Hernandez looking to come forward for the Eagles. Couple Hornets work to win the ball back. Here's Henry Rose. Rose driving forward into midfield. To Manser. Manser has Swanda on the overlap, and Manser is fouled outside the area. Free kick coming for the Hornets. So it's Swanda and Rose. Both standing over this free kick. Probably within 25 yards. Again, no football lines on the Braemar Dome field here, so sometimes hard to tell exactly how far it is out. Swanda will strike it. It's into the wall, and Swanda gets it right back. Tries to go around the corner. He will pass into the area toward Prestis. Eagles manage to get it clear. And that one deflects off the roof a couple times, but stays in play. I think that's the first time we've seen the dome come into play along the touch line, but it is a little bit shorter here, of course, than it is in the middle of the field.
We're having camera trouble. We have no idea what's going on with this tripod. I'm sure people are wondering what's up with this thing.
And we apologize for some of our camera issues. We're just working to fix the tripod right now. So bear with us here. We got Pete on it, though.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Here's Rose on the ball for the Hornets. He looks for Manser. Manser gets ahead to it. Jackson Hawley on the overlap. He turns back. So Eagles look to play out from the back here. This is one of their first extended times of possession on the ball. Coy Wynn does well to clear there. And now a turnover in midfield. Sammy Prestis finds Henry Rose. Has Mason on the overlap. Rose tries to go inside toward Prestis. Defended well by the Eagles. And Bartz. Deneau steps strongly to it, but here come the Eagles. Important interception for Matt Mason. Ball out with Rose on the left wing. Henry Rose hesitates. He dribbles inside. Picks out a pass toward Manser. Manser dribbling inside. And his through ball is deflected. Madison, alert, comes to it. That's off the head of Hernandez. Brought down to Fire. Going for it from long range, that's Jose Blanco. But it takes a deflection, and Steckman is able to grab it easily. Steckman, a long ball toward Prestis. Swanda is able to get to the second ball. Lashed free by Hussman for the Eagles. And now Swanda calmly brings it down. Back to his defense and Lucas Wright. Inside to Julian Banks, the first year. Now Banks up the touchline. Manser's able to run inside. He's walled off, though, by the Eagles. And it becomes a goal kick. Up to one in the air, that's Donahue. And Coy Wynn steps to it well, and he continues his run. Wynn leaves it with Rose. Now back to Wynn. Turning inside, and Henry Rose had a big piece of the shirt there. Referee didn't call it. Some physical play here on the near touch line. Matt Mason's able to turn it back. Eagles have a throw-in.
Is that better? This way? Is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So throw-in for Hussman. It's into a dangerous area for Donahue to chase for the Eagles. Cross toward the area. Swanda gets ahead to it. And Wynn will get it out, and now Henry Rose able to turn into space. Rose holds it up. To Banks. Banks has Rose trying to overlap. Forced in the middle to Prestis. Couple white shirts there pressing, forcing it back to Swanda. Hornets switch the play to the other side. And now Swanda with a good ball to the other side. He finds Henry Rose. Rose with Mason on the overlap. Rose goes for goal. And Madison down to make a save. There's a good overlap from Matt Mason, and Henry Rose acknowledged that overlap run just allows him to cut inside and distracts the defender at least just a little bit, so gives him that just little bit of space to maybe get a shot off. And here come the Eagles. Turn back inside, laid off for Hernandez. Donahue couldn't quite pull the trigger. And now Banks with a good turn. Nutmegs his defender. Prestis tried to get it forward out of his feet. Turned it back over to the Eagles. Laid off for Blanco. Good interception there for Jackson Hawley. And Swan is able to step to it in space. He calmly distributes toward Wynn. And Wynn off to Rose. Henry Rose cuts inside. Out to the flank for Mason. Now Mason turning in field. He has some space, looks to chip it forward. Carter Bell got in the way for the Eagles. And the captain dribbles away with it. He turns Swanda. Looks for Rojas. Here's Blanco. Blanco toward Hernandez. Good battle for it. But it's back with the Hornets. Banks able to bring it down on his chest. And a good back heel toward Henry Rose. Rose couldn't quite get around his man, but the Hornets will have a throw. Eagles will make their first substitution at their next opportunity. We played about 14 minutes here in the first half. And now we will get the subs as the Hornets will prepare one as well. Looks like Johnny Benz coming in for the Hornets. He'll replace Joe Manser. So we've seen Johnny Benz used as a sub quite a bit for this Hornet team, and he comes on and has changed a couple games. He did the game against Jefferson for sure earlier in the section tournament. Prestis into the middle. Turn toward the edge of the area. Swanda! And Madison down to his left to make a good save. Hornets forcing a few saves early out of Steven Madison. Hank Steckman at the other end, not nearly as busy. Hernandez chasing after it for the Eagles. And that's well done by Deneau. He gets it upfield to Rose. Henry Rose in some space. Johnny Benz zips the ball out to the left, and Julian Banks is able to run onto it. Here comes Banks. Good defending, though. That's Luke Bartz. Here's Benz on the ball. Lays it off for Wynn. Now Mason. Pass denied by Blanco. Mason throws toward Prestis. It skims off his head, and Madison's able to corral it. Throwing for the Eagles near the halfway line. Throwing toward Rojas. And Prestis is able to turn. Prestis in some space. Looks to lay it off for Benz. Good sliding tackle, wins it back for the Eagles. And here comes Fox. Fox's pass a little bit off the mark. Jackson Hawley and the Hornets with a throw. Hawley goes up the touchline toward Prestis. Prestis able to bring it down on his chest. Looks for Benz. It's behind him. And here goes Blanco. Blanco just runs out of room, though. Hornets have a throw. Skims off the head of an Eagle into a dangerous area. Ben sticks a foot in. Should be a throw forward. Well, actually, it's going to the Hornets. Holly's long throw. Cut out by the Eagles. And now sent forward. Good touch by Deneau. As he gets it over to Mason. Banks brings it down. Looks to chip it ahead to himself. Runs wide to Henry Rose. Back inside to Mason. Now Prestis. Rose sends a ball toward the back post. And it's in! Excuse me, Matt Mason. Mason will get the goal as he just sends the ball dangerously toward the back post, and it flutters over the head of Madison. Hornets lead it 1-0 as the senior Matt Mason with the opening goal. .21:45 to go in the first half. And Edina leads 1-0. Sometimes that's what can happen when you put a ball in a dangerous area. Keeper just couldn't get up to claim it, and it's over his head into the corner. That was a little bit further out, but not too dissimilar to the first goal we saw scored in the game earlier today.
I couldn't tell. I don't think it was Mason. You think so, Adrian? I think it was. I don't think it was Mason.
It's either Mason or Rose. I don't know. It looked like he was like claiming it.
They're cheering Rose
For them. So we're just having a little bit of a discussion over here in our broadcast perch about who actually scored the goal. I don't know if you can see it on your stream when we pan to the left, but the curtain is actually kind of in the way there on that left side. So I know both Rose and Mason were over there. At first I thought it was Rose, but then after the goal was scored, I watched the players' reactions, and, you know, Matt Mason put a hand up almost as if to claim it. So we are hearing it was Henry Rose. But again, so we think you at home might not have been able to see that shot either, as the curtain's kind of in the way. So either way, the ball's in the net, and the Hornets have a 1-0 lead. Hussman takes the throw for the Eagles. And Deneau dribbles out from the back. Big challenge thrown in by the Eagles. And a player slowed to their feet in white. It's Kevin Rojas. He's back to his feet now, though. Good to see. Coy Wynn with a good interception. So Patrick McGarvey's on the field now. One of the subs for the Hornets. He might have come on for Julian Banks after the goal. So I saw Banks go to the sideline. Eagles have a goal kick. So Kevin Rojas is going to go to the sideline. He's replaced by Sam Phillips. Here's Phillips on the ball. Prestis and Rose working hard to win it back. And Rose puts in a sliding challenge. Throwing for the Eagles. Oh, and that hits the wire over midfield. We saw that in the first game one time. Also saw it on Thursday night. So again, we saw the ceiling that's in play. As long as the ball stays within the field of play, the ceiling's in play on both sidelines, and then the cable suspended over midfield is also in play here in the Braemar Dome. We've seen that come into play a couple times. So Prestis dropping deep to win the ball back. Here's Rose. He tries to play it toward McGarvey up the channel. It's off McGarvey and still in. A couple players hit the ground. And looks like the Hornets are going to get the foul here. Free kick for the Eagles, turns straight back to McGarvey. Now it's Swanda and Wynn. Henry Rose, we think the goal scorer for the Hornets, on the ball there. And now it's back to Eden Prairie. Here's Eepsice. Lays it off for Fox. They go back to Nelson. Now flicked on up the left wing. Eepsice switches over there. Plays a 1-2, but Ryan Swanda with a big recovery run. And wins to seam a goal kick as Swanda slides and sends it off the shin of Eepsice. So a very smart play by the captain for the Hornets. 16 minutes to go in this first half. Hornets lead at 1-0. Steckman boots it toward Rose. Here's Blanco winning it back for the Eagles. He finds Phillips. And a good ball for Eepsice. Tries to send it forward toward Fox. Fox gets a foot in, but a throw in for the Hornets. There's Mason toward Rose. And McGarvey keeps it in. Touch a little heavy, though. It's going to run out for a goal kick. So Madison will take it quickly. Sent up the left wing by Yu. And now Lucas Wright forward for the Hornets. Cole Nelson does well to beat McGarvey for pace. Madison's long ball flicked on toward Blanco. But there's Coy Wynn on the ball. Wynn's pass intercepted. Here's Eepsice. Can't get around Mason. Throw incoming for the Hornets. Mason's throwing in the direction of Prestis. Brought down by Phillips for the Eagles. Eepsice tries to flick it around Mason. And Mason wins it back. Here's Henry Rose. Inside onto his favorite right foot. Turns it in towards Swanda. Ball played forward toward McGarvey. Headed clear. Here's Rose on the edge of the area. Looking for half a yard of space. Plays it out to the right for Benz. Now Hawley on the overlap. Hawley tries to turn his man, now cuts back. Hawley turns in field and wins it. Now Coy win. Here's Mason. Sends a curling ball into the area, but Madison plays it on a hop. Phillips able to turn inside Prestis. Pass cut out, though, by Johnny Benz. Ryan Swanda on the ball in midfield. Good close down there. That was Carter Bell for the Eagles. Now Swanda ahead to Benz. Benz dribbling into some space. Prestis looks to turn. And Madison's clearance hits one of his own players. Rose loses it, only temporarily though. Now it's Mason into the area. That was toward Benz. Throwing for the Eagles. Now Mason, he turns into Prestis. Prestis stops the ball for a second. Here's Ryan Swanda. Out to the right for Hawley. Hawley's cross toward Prestis, up for the header. And it's wide, goal kick. Great movement though for the Hornets. And Jackson Hawley, he is a great crosser of the ball from that right side. Sammy Prestis just found a pocket of space and skied for the header, but Prestis will now get a breather. Tommy Broderick coming out for the Hornets, a senior. I'm assuming Prestis won't be on the sidelines too long, just a chance to catch his breath and get some fluids. We didn't see too much of it earlier, but on Thursday we did see a lot of cramping up for players here inside the dome. So I think fluids may be a concern as well. That's one back by the Eagles. Good pinch though for Hawley to win it. Here's Ipsice. He has Mason on his back. And now Blanco. Blanco covered well by Hawley. Pressure applied by Fox, and a foul. Steckman will take the free kick for the Hornets. Calls out Henry Rose. Headed away by the Eagles. Eventually does find its way to Rose. Back to Wright. Wright plays the ball forward toward McGarvey. Good defensive header by the Eagles. Quick feed from Benz to win it back. Inside to McGarvey. McGarvey has some space. Ryan Swanda drives into the area, and a header from Broderick is deflected. Corner kick. So Tommy Broderick gets up for that header. It's deflected, and a corner kick for the Hornets. 9 minutes left in this first half. And Johnny Benz will take it. Benz right-footed delivery. Comes in. And Swanda got at least a little bit of a header on it. Went wide. It looked like he might have taken a little bit of a shove as well, but maybe not enough to be a penalty. Either way, it results in a goal kick for Madison. Flicked on by Blanco. Now Swanda for the Hornets. Here's Tommy Broderick. Bends into Swanda. McGarvey. Continuing his run. Here's Johnny Benz. Good tackle by the Eagles to win the ball back. Benz now getting to his feet. Broderick on the wing. Thumps forward towards Swanda. Skims off his foot, but here comes Benz. Johnny Benz in a lot of space. Drives a low ball in. Goal kick as it went off Broderick's foot. Swanda steps to it and wins it. Just for a moment, though. Eagles now with the throw-in. Blanco plays it toward Cole Nelson. Now here's Eepsice. Eepsice turns in field. Mason forward toward McGarvey. And now Henry Rose floats one. Tommy Broderick looks to chase. Headed out of the air by the Eagles. Swanda surging forward. Back toward Coy Wynn. Wynn turns in field. Swanda back to Deneau. Deneau, a lovely ball, reverses the field to Hawley. Now Jackson Hawley driving forward. Hawley plays it in, skims off the head of an Eagle, and a corner kick. I think it was a necessary intervention there for Luke Bartz because Tommy Broderick looked like he might get onto that ball. So smart to concede the corner. It was a great ball by Jackson Hawley. That's, well, him on the right along with Henry Rose on the left. Those are the two players that you can't give too much time on the ball for this Hornets team. Johnny Ben's another one. A lot of players that put a good ball into the box. Here's Benz, as mentioned before. That's in the middle. It's free. McGarvey blocked, and it somehow gets over the bar. So Hornets had a few kicks at it there. 5 minutes left in this first half. Laid off for Blanco. Into the middle for Bell. That's a good ball forward for the Eagles. Coywin's able to clear it though. Eden Prairie looks to regroup through the back. Good header by Lucas Wright. And here's Hawley turning in field. Turn it back toward Benz. Benz will leave it for Wright. That pass cut out by Sam Phillips. Now Swanda for the Hornets. He turns to Benz up the right. Inside, here's Broderick. Broderick in plenty of space. Close down a little bit here. For Hawley on the overlap. Holly just overcooks it a little bit toward Rose. Now Matt Mason turning in field, drives one low toward the box. Henry Rose trying some skill, trying to flick it over his man. And the Eagles will see to throw in. So Patrick McGarvey over to throw. He'll back up all the way to the wall. Get as much of a running start as possible. And Broderick gets ahead to it, just puts it wide. Three minutes to go here in this first half. Hornets lead at 1-0 on a goal by Henry Rose. Hornets win the second ball of the air. McGarvey tries to turn the corner, but Phillips does well. There's Bell to Blanco and back to Bell. Good press here from the Hornets as they force the Eagles back. Lets it run to Blanco. And McGarvey, he wins it back for the Hornets. He also draws a foul as the referee will pull it back. He would have played the advantage, but seeing none, pulls the foul back. Taken quickly by Swanda. Here's Wynn. Matt Mason on it. Here's Rose. Henry Rose finds Swanda. Over to Wright. Lucas Wright puts the ball in the box, cut out by Blanco. Swanda, and Rose drags the shot wide. Eagles will make a sub as Kevin Rojas returns. He replaces Sam Phillips, so good to see Rojas back in the game after he limped off a little bit earlier. Looks to be running at full strength as well. Hornets have a throw in. We're under 60 seconds to go in this first half. McGarvey will load up for a throw here. It's in the middle. Comes toward the edge of the area. Hawley steps to it to win it back for the Hornets. Jackson Hawley, good pass toward Benz. Just no space for Benz. He turns onto his right and skies the shot over the bar. So not a lot of space to operate for the Hornets in attack. The Eagles are really packing it in defensively and making it tough on Edina. Coy Wynn steps to that. Lays it off for Henry Rose, who puts his right foot through it right as the horn sounds. So the Hornets lead at 1-0 at halftime on a goal by Henry Rose. They're 40 minutes away from a section championship to end this 2020 season. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the second half. Again, Edina leads it 1-0 at the break. All right, we are back for the second half here inside the Braemar Dome. Edina Hornets leading at 1-0. And I think we finally have some clarity on the official score sheet. The first half goal is going to go to Henry Rose with the assist from Matt Mason. We had to crowdsource to figure out who scored the goal. It was tough to see from our vantage point. Again, the curtain is just perfectly in the way. So Henry Rose is going to get credit for the goal. Sorry for any confusion about that from our first half broadcast. Also want to give a special shout out to our listeners tonight, especially Hank Steckman's family, the Steckmans from Zumbrota. Was told to give them a special shout out, and right on cue, Hank's going to get the ball. So thank you for joining us tonight. Steckmans from Zumbrota. Eagles on the ball here. And Jackson Hawley intercepts that. He has space to dribble into. Good ball toward Manser. Can he keep it in? Looks like he cannot. Goal kick. So typically this game here today would be played with a spot in the state tournament on the line in Class AA. Unfortunately, due to all things 2020 and the COVID pandemic, we're not going to have a state tournament this year. So this will be the end of the line for both of these teams. But one team will have a chance to end today with a section championship.
So, I'm Patty's mom, the redhead that's never said it.
Yeah.
His sister's watching in New York.
Okay.
She was like, will you have them give a shout out to Ella and Amelia?
In New York?
Ella and Amelia in New York. They're
Okay.
at Fordham.
Okay.
You're the best. Thank you.
So Steckman, he'll boot it deep for the Hornets. We're hearing about some other listeners joining us from across the country here tonight. I want to give a special shout out to Ella and Amelia watching in New York at Fordham. So again, thank you wherever you're joining us here tonight for this Section 2 Class AA championship game. Rojas on the ball. He goes out to the right. And Coy Wynn presses, wins the ball back. But now back on are the Eagles. Into a dangerous area. Here's Bell. Deneau steps to it. Left-footed shot from range, and Steckman makes the save. That's Danny Hernandez, leading scorer for this Eagles team. Just couldn't quite get the height on that one or the pace, and Steckman makes a comfortable save. Good step by Jackson Hawley as he turns Eepsice back the other way. So Hornets force the Eagles back. They do have a throw-in up the far sideline. And here's Henry Rose. He bursts ahead with pace. Henry Rose tries to slip a ball through. Prestis in hard on Rojas. No foul called. Third coming here for the Eagles. They'll make a sub. It's Henry Hussman coming on. And Alex Yu with the throw-in for the Eagles. Here right down in front of our vantage point. Shielded well by Hawley and sent forward by the Hornets. Now Prestis has it at his feet. He has to turn back to Hawley, and they'll go back to right. Hawley sends it back to Steckman. Here's Eepsice for the Eagles. Tries to slip a ball through toward Hernandez. Matt Mason there, though. Hernandez takes it around Mason. Now Blanco on the edge of the area. Strong step from Manser. Chance here for the Eagles. Eepsice for goal. It's just wide. Best chance for the Eagles as their supporters appreciate that. That was Tamer Eepsice, the freshman. Just couldn't quite bend that ball inside the post, but Eagles starting to ask some questions of the Hornets. Swanda up for the header, and that'll be a foul. A little bit of a shove from Prestis. I think he might have been clattered into by an Eagle that kind of started a chain reaction there, but either way, free kick coming just across the halfway line. For the Eagles, it's Jose Blanco standing over it. Rose up to head it away. Here's Hussman. He turns inside. Tries to switch the play, but Sammy Prestis. Oh, and that's a big shove, and that might be, well, referee is going to talk to Carter Bell there, and he says that's probably the last warning. That was a big shove from Carter Bell, and referee might need to get control of this game just a little bit. Been some physical challenges to start this second half. So Steckman's going to send everybody forward. He's going to try to send a ball into the box here. And that's going to become a corner kick as that skims off the head of Hussman. So Hank Steckman wins his team a corner. Don't say that often of the keeper. But he doesn't typically touch the ball much from a defensive standpoint, so he's always pushing up out of the box, wanting to take the long free kicks, and here the keeper plays a part in winning his team a corner. Henry Rose to take it. Toward the back post, and presses his header from a long way out. Goal kick. Swanda does well to win it for the Hornets. Here's Julian Banks. Hornets pleading for the throw-in. They'll have it as well with Jackson Hawley. Hawley with a long run up toward Prestis. Prestis up for the header. And the Eagles will get a throw-in. That's toward Bell. Straight to the feet of Banks, though. Banks takes it around Yu. Hawley will have another chance for a throw-in here. Long throw, skim toward the back post. And Mason tried to get a touch on it just to turn it over the line. Couldn't quite do it, though. And it will be a goal kick. Steven Madison to send it long for the Eagles. Prestis does well. He's in good position. And that's a beautiful ball at the outside of his right foot. Henry Rose looks to chase onto it. Goal kick. Henry Rose thought it might have taken a deflection off an Eagle defender. Referee says no. And this time they'll go short with the goal kick. Here's you. Eepsice couldn't keep it in. Throwing for Jackson Hawley and the Hornets. Hawley toward Banks. Prestis gets a foot to it, throwing for the Eagles. Swanda up to head it. Here's Manser. Plays a 1-2 with Banks. And here's Joe Manser. Into a dangerous area. Ball fizzes across the front of goal. And now the Eagles maybe with a chance. Here's Hernandez to Blanco. Hernandez continues his run. And they're going to try to find him up the right. Stepping across, though, is Henry Deneau. He'll put it over the line. Throw-in taken quickly. There's Rojas. He chips it forward. Should be a corner. It is for the Eagles. 29 minutes and change to go in this second half. Corner for the Eagles. Toward the back post. Over the head of Steckman. Back toward the middle. Several bodies on the ground. Rojas comes away with it. Goal kick. So Rojas let it run out of play because he thought it was going to be another corner. Instead, it's a goal kick. So referee just having a few words with Hank Steckman and Jackson Hawley. Not sure what about. Steckman will boot it deep. Carter Bell up to win the header. Tried to chip it forward for Eepsice for the Eagles. And here's Joe Manser. Manser up the line for Banks. He chops it inside. Now Bell, that's a poor clearance. Coy win. Not really able to trouble the keeper though. Madison claims easily. Here's Hernandez. Back toward Hussman. Throw-in coming for the Hornets. Henry Rose brings it down. There's Mason. Prestis, he finds Rose in the middle. Rose lays it off for Swanda. Swanda goes for goal from range. Spilled to Hawley, and he puts it into the side net. So Ryan Swanda went for goal. It was Madison down to his left. He got there in plenty of time to make the save. Couldn't hold on, though. And Jackson Hawley, from a really tight angle, puts it into the side netting. Some more warning signs for this Eden Prairie defense, but they still trail by just a goal. Wynn gets a foot to it, and now going forward. Here are the Eagles. Good foot in from Henry Deneau, though. Hornets have a throw. Here's Cole Nelson for the Eagles. He finds Carter Bell. And now you. And that's intercepted by Swanda. Swanda has Prestis to his left. He finds him. Good foot by Rojas. Now it's Julian Banks in space. Banks has Manser on the overlap. He finds him. Manser serves a right-footed ball into the area. Hornets want a handball, none given. Now Swanda's able to settle on the ball. He goes up looking for Manser, and Manser's taken out, and it's a penalty. Cole Nelson gets a yellow card, and it's a penalty for the Hornets. Just a needless foul there from Cole Nelson, as that ball was going to run out of play, but he just took out Manser right at the end line, and that ball was clearly running out of play. It's a bad place to give away a penalty. But it's Matt Mason, the senior captain, to take it. Matt Mason from the spot scores. Hornets 2, Eagles 0, and this time Matt Mason absolutely did score. We thought he did in the first half. For sure here in the second half, Matt Mason from the spot. And the Hornets lead 2-0 with 24:58 remaining. So a goal really from a nothing chance for the Hornets. Again, the ball was going to go out the end line. Just really a bad foul. Not a place you want to take it. As that one floats back on Steckman. He's up to claim. But just a really bad place to give away a penalty. But Matt Mason makes them pay. Tough to see the Hornets giving this one up from a 2-goal lead. They've conceded just 7 goals all season long. And this is the 14th game, so giving up a goal roughly every other game are the Hornets. Eden Prairie did score 1 goal in each of the 2 previous meetings, but they need 2 just to keep this game going. This is out to Jackson Hawley. Into the middle for Prestis. Sammy Prestis. Can't quite get it off on his left foot. But now with it at a 2-goal margin, the Eagles are going to have to take more chances, sending numbers forward, and that might really be in Edina's favor. We know they have the quality to put together a good counterattack and really put the game to bed. But a long way to go. 23 minutes. Hornets, though, in the driver's seat, leading 2-0. Here's Julian Banks. Banks able to cut inside, right-footed shot, and Madison claims easily. Hornets take the throw in quickly. It's toward Banks again. Swanda up for the header. Here's Prestis. He's always so good with his back to goal. Just calmly and coolly maintaining possession. Now Prestis drives forward, and it's going to be a red card. So Carter Bell gets his second yellow, and he goes to the sideline. Now the Eagles are sending a substitute in. So Bell went to the sideline. I believe that was his second yellow, so I think Bell might be done for the game. He went straight to the sideline. He knew what he had done there. So I, again, believe Bell's out for the game, but the Eagles were able to sub. So free kick for the Hornets. It's taken by Lucas Wright. Wright looks to play a ball back in. Here's Rojas, challenge deemed fair. Back heel toward Banks. Sent out a play by the Eagles. And the Hornets are going to make a sub. Julian Banks out. And Patrick McGarvey coming back in. Senior midfielder for the Hornets. One of the many seniors on this Edina roster that are set to potentially end their careers with a Section 2 title. 21 minutes to go. So McGarvey, long throw in, and Hawley's header goes wide. Good turn in midfield. And here goes Manser forward for the Hornets. Manser turning inside. He's bumped, no foul. Prestis on it now. Prestis over to Henry Rose. Rose puts his right foot through it. Madison has it. We've had another sub for the Hornets, as it looks like number 4, Finley Smith, sophomore, is in the game for the first time. Not quite sure who he replaced. So Eagles just being turned back repeatedly by the Hornets. We're defending so well today. It's kept in though on the far side. Rojas going forward, sliding challenge by Mason. Here comes a corner for the Eagles. So they need two. This could be a chance to try to get back in this game. They're going to send just about everybody forward toward the box. Now even the last one in. So one player on the edge of the area for the Eagles. Everybody else crowding the penalty area. Header, it comes in on goal, and Steckman makes the save. That was Hussman getting ahead to it. Never really troubling Steckman, though. 19 minutes left in this game. Loose touch wins a throwback for the Hornets. And Edina will make us change. It's Johnny Benz coming in. He'll replace Joe Manser. Long throw from McGarvey. Hawley up to head it, but it's straight at Madison. Those long throws have been dangerous. That's a big kick for Madison. That ball had almost no spin on it in the air. Turned back by Rose. Headed down. Prestis almost got onto that ball. Could have Broken clean in. Now a ball over the top toward Eepsice. Good touch by Eepsice. Tries to turn inside Hawley. Hernandez. Here's Rojas. Rojas toward goal. And Steckman just sees it wide. Good effort from Rojas. Goal kick, though, for Steckman. Steckman's goal kick in the direction of Swanda. Skims off Swanda's head. Jackson Hawley with a big throw-in down the touchline. It's headed down by Prestis to McGarvey. McGarvey sends a ball in. Keeper is on it. Rose turns and fires wide. So McGarvey drove a cross in that got close to that back post. It just had to be tipped over by the keeper Madison, but he didn't tip it over. He tipped it right into play, almost right to Henry Rose. But Rose eventually fired wide. Swanda looks to win it out of the air. Foul on the Eagles. Free kick coming for Edina. So Steckman comes up all the way toward the halfway line. He's going to take this one. Toward McGarvey. He gets ahead to it, back in toward the middle. Header in the air from right. And here comes Eepsice. Eepsice looks to turn inside. Swanda sends it safely out of play. Jackson Hawley powers up for another big throw-in. It skips over. Here's McGarvey on the ball on the right wing. He has an overlap from Benz. Patrick McGarvey toward Rose. Rose tried to cushion it to Swanda. Now Swanda's flick. Chased down by McGarvey. He wins it back. Try to get it toward Prestis at the edge of the area. Eagles now back in control. Throwing for Hawley. Perfectly weighted right to the feet of McGarvey. He dishes off for Benz. Benz tries to slip in McGarvey. He holds it up. Now Hawley ball rolls inside. Jackson Hawley for the Hornets. Left-footed shot. Spilled and a goal. Sammy Prestis for the Hornets. They lead it 3-0 and are 14 minutes away from the Section 2 championship. So the move starts up the right as McGarvey and Benz combined. McGarvey eventually rolled it inside for Hawley, who got off a pretty good shot onto his left foot. Required a save from Madison, but it was spilled right into the path of the Edina striker. It's Prestis' 8th goal of the season. He trails only Henry Rose, who with a goal earlier has 9 to lead the team. So it's a balanced attack for this Hornet team, night in and night out. And they are 14 minutes away from ending the season with a section championship. So Coy Wynn back in the game. He'll replace Finley Smith. Looks like Matt Mason is out as well. And number 6, Aiden Halavnia is back in. So we've seen both Mason and Halavnia play a lot at that fullback position for the Hornets this season. So Halavnia getting in here in the section final. He's a senior as well. So the Eagles are going to make a goaltender change. Looks like Carson Bell, the senior, coming in. So it's a good moment for Eden Prairie as they get their senior goalkeeper in. Chance for him to finish out his career on the pitch with his teammates. And now a lot of subs being made. So Jackson Hawley, he's been excellent again tonight for the Hornets. Tristan Newleen coming in. He's in at right back. We've also seen him play quite a bit this season. So just a chance for the Hornets to get one of their seniors in for some final game time. This Eden Prairie team, I think, could be pretty good in future years. They only have 4 seniors on the roster this year. So 15 Luke Bartz, a defender, Carter Bell. Obviously, we saw him go off with his second yellow card earlier. He's a senior. Forward number 3, Simon Kameen. And then the goalkeeper just came on, Carson Bell. So those are the only 4 seniors for the Eagles. Certainly want to salute their work and congratulate them on great careers. But the Eagles probably feel like they have a pretty solid team coming back, and maybe they can improve on their late conference finish next year. But still some time left in this game, 11 and a half minutes. Comeback is not likely at this point, as that one actually hit a light and back down into play. So as I was saying, comeback perhaps not likely for the Eagles here tonight. But they do have a chance to maybe get one last goal on the season. Someone can end their career on a high note, and you never know. This defense is really tough to break down for the Hornets, but it is 2020. I guess if a comeback could happen, why not here in 2020? Certainly Hornets fans don't want that. Steckman will send it forward. Here's Halavnia. That's a good ball for Broderick up the left. Broderick takes it around his man. Tommy Broderick for the Hornets from a tight angle. And a good save by Bell as he comes out to claim. That's one of those rare plays that gets both sets of fans clapping. Hornet fans applauding the effort of Tommy Broderick, and the Eagles fans applauding the goalkeeping of Carson Bell, who just came on off the bench. So good for Carson. Eagles have a throw-in. Toward goal, takes a deflection, and Steckman pounces on it. He wants to keep another clean sheet. Him and the Edina defense have been so good all year. They have not conceded a goal since the 29th of September when they took on Buffalo. Certainly I hope that doesn't become the commentator's jinx for the Hornets. That goal came late in the game and was a consolation goal for Buffalo. But the Hornets have a chance if they hold on today. Again, they would finish with a record of 12-2 and with a section championship, having won 12 of their last 13 games. Even the games that the Hornets lost, they lost to Wyzetta, but then they came back and won the reverse game, so they split with Wayzata. Here's toward McGarvey. McGarvey's onside. Couldn't get a lot of mustard behind that shot as Bell makes a save. But again, you know, the Hornets lost their season opener 2 months ago to Wayzata, but they came back and got revenge for that game, and then they also lost to Minnetonka, but they've since beaten the Skippers twice. So this Hornet team has been evenly matched or better with every team they've played. But they won't get a state tournament this year at least to figure out who the best team in the state is. But make no mistake, today is a chance to end the season with a championship. And the Hornets up 3-0. We'll do that in about 8 minutes. So a good round of applause as Coy Wynn and Ryan Swanda depart. Swanda's played just about every minute for this team, just so solid. In front of that back line, Steckman will have a goal kick here. But Swanda, one of the captains for this Hornet team, one of 4. Him along with, well, Hank Steckman, Ryan Swanda, Henry Rose, and Matt Mason are the captains. All 4 started tonight for the Hornets. But Swanda is the only one returning. He's a junior, so he'll be back next year. And have to assume he'll be a captain once again. There's Newleen trying to clear. Cross comes in for the Eagles toward the back post. Good header by Newleen. Now inside, Benz is clipped. Rojas couldn't quite pull the trigger. Here's Yu. Under pressure, he'll turn it back. Sent forward toward Hernandez. Now Hernandez to Blanco. Good ball with the outside of his right foot toward Rojas. But it's cleared by Lucas Wright. Now it'll come back toward Alex Yu. Lavnia gets in the way of that cross. Here's Bell for goal. And he fires wide. So Eagles will make a substitution here. And cool moment here is Simon Kameen, number 3, a senior, coming on for the Eagles. So well done by the coaching staff. Rob St. Clair is the head coach for Eden Prairie. Jim Williams and Scott Hofstad are his assistants, so good job for them. They get all the seniors in the game here, as their seasons won today. Here's McGarvey. Throwing for the Eagles, and Kameen takes it. His teammates applauding him there. And referee detects a foul. Here's Jose Blanco. He sends it in with his right foot. That's a dangerous ball. Flick toward the back post. Hornets will manage to get it clear. Kept in by Newleen. Entire Hornet bench is up and cheering right now. They know that they are just 4.5 minutes from ending the season with a championship. And now Halavnia wins it back. I think you can tell just how much this section championship will mean to Edina just by how excited the bench is right now. Really cool to see them up and supporting the team. Applauding all the small winning plays that sometimes go unnoticed by the fans and even by us. So the Eagles have a free kick here as they look to maybe get a consolation goal. It's Cole Nelson to take it. Nelson approaches with his right. He takes it toward Blanco. Blanco from a tight angle back into the middle. That's cleared out by the Hornets. Now Nelson wins it back again. That's toward Kameen. And Steckman races on to claim it. .3:10 and counting. Hussman will go back to the keeper. Here's Bell sending it long. Benz intercepting for the Hornets. Johnny Benz goes for goal from range, and it's wide. Nelson wins the foul for Eden Prairie. Another chance in a dangerous spot for the Eagles. Just over 2 minutes left now. Nelson skies it. Kameen gets ahead to it for the Eagles. Chested down by Hernandez. And now a chance up the left wing here for the Eagles. They play it into the box. Good defending by Joe Manser to get in the way. And a goal kick. Under 90 seconds to play now. Edina goals today from Henry Rose, Matt Mason, and Sammy Prestis. Two senior captains getting a big moment, and the other senior captain, Hank Steckman, is about a minute away from finishing off another shutout. So that'd be a great way for the three senior captains to go out here today. And on top of that, their team's going to win a section championship. It's into Wetzel. Here's Johnny Benz. Ben switches the play over to Halavnia. Halavnia's ball toward the back post. Newleen lays it off for McGarvey. McGarvey whips it in, and Bell pounces on it. 20 seconds remaining now as Halavnia battles on that far sideline. That's out of play, thrown for the Eagles. Under 10 to go now. And there you have it. The 2020 Edina Hornets have won the Section 2 Class AA Championship. The Hornets end the season with a section title. They will end 12-2. Congratulations as well to Eden Prairie. They had a good season, made a good run to get to the section final. They will finish 5-6-3 on the season. So the Hornets celebrating in front of goal, maybe getting a selfie, I can't quite tell. But the entire team celebrating in front of the goal as they will end the season with a section title.
Okay, congratulations to both Eden Prairie and Edina.
So congratulations to the Edina Hornets. We'll have a trophy presentation coming up in just a moment. But thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this season of Edina Soccer. This is our last soccer broadcast of the season. But stay tuned for other sports throughout the rest of the fall season with volleyball and football, and then going into the winter as well. But again, a good way to end the season for the Edina Hornets. They are the Section 2 Class AA champions. Thank you and have a great night.
We're going to ask the captains from both teams to receive their team's trophy. First up, the captains from Eden Prairie. Your athletic director has your trophy. Congratulations, Section 2 AA runner-up, Eden Prairie Eagles. Well done, Eden Prairie. Edina captains, please step forward to receive your championship trophy for the Section 2 AA section finals. Well done. We're asking families to stay on the sidelines and your players will come to you. Thank you, everyone.